afternoon, everybody. Actually, the initial idea of our meeting was to make you happy before Christmas and New Year time, that your money and time invested into the Ministry of Infrastructure was not wasted. And we would like to report shortly about the outcomes, but before I come to the presentation, I would like also congratulate Member of Parliament which join us today. I think it's very good that we have finally MPs as a part of donor community, and I'm sure that they will contribute, maybe in not financial not by financial means, but by some others. And I'm very pleased that this year we have very good cooperation with the Parliament. We already conducted fruitful first infrastructure day, and we are very close on the eve of the second infrastructure day this Thursday at the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine. So let me start with the first slide. So we are about to shed some light on our vision for 2017 and what we accomplished. Next slide, please. As I told you, we are not able to predict how many draft laws will pass the Parliament, but I do believe that this year and 2017 will be fruitful for the Ministry of Infrastructure. And first very good sign is that finally Road Trust Fund is adopted. The law on decentralization of Ukravtodor is adopted. And we have first reading of the new law on electronic ticket, which is a part of revitalizing the bus lines in Ukraine. Next slide, please. Ministry, together with technical assistance project, organized national roundtable to collect public opinion on problematic questions, including multimodal transport, transit safety, ecological issues, etc., to include all outputs in national transport strategy that are under revision right now. Now we are working to develop KPI and action plan for 2017 based on consultations with all stakeholders in the beginning of 2017. The final revised version of the national transport strategy will be presented. I would like to point out that we started our work of revision of the strategy in the beginning of summer and still moving fast to upgrade existing strategy maximum efficiently. And ministry, first of all, First Deputy Minister Kravtsov will take lead of this process at the ministry itself. Next slide, please. Yep, great. Every strategy will be only useless paperwork without implementation. I'm grateful to EU for funding the reform support team in the ministry, aiming to facilitate reforms and transport strategy implementation. Besides, every strategy has cost for its implementation at the moment. The analysts are working to estimate these expenses for Ukraine. I must say that comparing with EU countries, Ukraine has limited resources for implementation of the project. That is why we're trying to use all funds and mechanisms which are available. The ministry is working for approval of technical assistance projects 2018-2020 with EU to support transport strategy. Also, negotiations started with the Ministry of Finance to receive EU budget support for 2017. Let me jump to public administration reform. This reform is one of the most important issues today. I'm proud that our ministry is the first one to conduct an audit of functions and development of intermediate structure to implement EU best practices. The new structure of the ministry will be implemented in the beginning of next year, and we will continue our work aiming to the implementation of final structures that will have effect on the internal efficiency improvement. In my personal opinion, we should have transparent, efficient system at the Ministry of Infrastructure and all our state enterprises. Without having new charter for running the good governance, we are not able to succeed. And I'm also very appreciative to our European partners in assistance provided during this work. Corporate governance and compliance. 80% of people in Ukraine are seeking to combat corruption. That is why we launched in the ministry the anti-corruption department that showed already its effectiveness. During next year, we plan to develop and implement the compliance. I'm losing my voice. Yep. A compliance system in the ministry and biggest agencies and SOEs, And I'm very glad that the ministry also is a pioneer in this field. Is it working? Mic? Not. Microphone pracuje, czy nie pracuje? Raz. Oh, good. I'm very grateful to EBRD support for our reforms in Ukrposhta, and I hope Ukrainian railways aiming to implement corporate governance principles in these companies. Procurement, still a painful topic, unfortunately. We understood that Prozoro is not a panacea for such companies as USPA and UZE. At the moment, we are considering to use UNOPS as a temporary instrument to outsource purchases. Also, ERP is an important instrument to be implemented to avoid production inefficiency and other misleads. Moreover, we will expand our monitoring group, which already supervise Ukrainian railways, to other biggest state companies in order to avoid misleads or mistakes on purpose in tendering documents. Logistic and transit improvement. Unfortunately, Ukraine is facing lack of logistic efficiency. We can observe producers that cannot obtain wagons from UZE or river users that are not happy with tariffs. I am not even talking about transit. Besides of all our trying to improve situation, it is definitely not enough. I'm grateful to World Bank for support our initiatives for Logistic Action Plan and establishment of Logistic Committee and EU for potential support of its implementation. I believe that government coordination in implementation of specific action plan can excessively improve effectiveness of internal logistics and stimulate growth of transit. The problem is very complex. However, together we will cooperate with all stakeholders and we will solve anything, I believe. Investments. I would like to update you with our work on concession law amendment. Together with experts, Minister of Economy and other stakeholders, we finished discussion on PPP policies and agreed on all critical issues raised during the discussion. Now we are waiting for the first draft law from EBRD experts based on our work, and Mark is saying yes to that. Great. I'm glad that we started working with World Bank on Kherson pre-feasibility study and received approval from EU to support pre-feasibility study for Port Yuzhny and Chernomorsk. In 2017, we planned concession of 2 pilot ports, Kherson and Olvia, as soon as the new law is ready for that. Elimination of bottlenecks. Still me? Yep. This summer, we launched program of elimination of infrastructure bottlenecks. During this time, we analyzed all existing inefficiencies and identified pipeline of projects in accordance to prioritization systems that also have been developed together by the Ministry with EU Technical Assistance Project. Also, we opened on our website window submission of new projects for our analysis because the pipeline of projects is not full in our opinion. We do believe that with this instrument, we would be able to evaluate the country and to submit good ideas for new projects and to develop pre-feasibility study for them. At the moment, we started to contact IFIs to identify potential interest in their fields. Maritime. Our main goal is be ready for IMO audit in 2018, improve efficiency and transparency of the sector. We already developed the documentation for maritime administration, new body to be launched since January 2017, mobilize donor help. Next week, US Coast Guard will arrive with a mission to assist with the maritime administration establishment. And the European Union and US Treasury already provided huge support for development of preliminary concept. Potential technical assistance from EMCA side is expected as well. The ministry developed draft action plan for IM audit preparation and going to discuss this plan with all stakeholders. The next very important topic is reform of USPA that we plan to start during next year. I would like to briefly inform you that I already issued decree to USPA to revise their financial plan for 2017 in order to meet our international obligations. Secondly, to follow the reform of USPA, to cut their operational costs and optimize their personnel. So I hope that we can make some achievements already in 2016 with that. Inland waterways. It's not a toy, it's a real instrument to transport goods. And I'm very happy to welcome here the ambassador of Netherlands who took the lead in this initiative. And I do believe that having such a huge experience by Netherlands, we will make a miracle here in Ukraine as well. And we'll connect Ukraine and Europe not only via rails or highways, but also inland waterways. We organized a series of sectoral donor meetings on inland waterways, and the result is Dnipro Development Initiative, launched by Dutch ambassador. The next step is approval of law on inland waterways transport by Rada, which will be considered this Thursday at the Parliament, and the program of reconstruction of waterlogs, conduction of systematic dredging based on expert help from Dnipro Development Initiative. I would also like to inform you that first, for the decade, Ministry allocated 110 million hryvnias for the reparation of the 5 waterlogs along the Dnieper River, and it was possible due to the European Union sectoral support program. Roads and road transport. So we've got our new hero. He's here sitting with us, Mr. Slavomir Novak, and he is also part of that miracle who made State Road Fund functioning. Challenges are huge in front of him, but I do believe that with his great experience and personal motivation, he will make it. EBRD supported establishment of reform support team in Ukravtodor, and it's a very good news for us because we do need high-level experts paying due attention to the reform of Ukravtodor in order to have new roads by all means. Another issue, it's a road safety. It was neglected in Ukraine for years, and due to the Member of Parliament, Mr. Didenko, goodwill from the Prime Minister and readiness of Ukravtodor and Ministry of Infrastructure, we put this issue in front of us and are ready to join all, let's say, we already established intergovernmental working group, and we are ready to join the efforts of all state bodies to eliminate the number of deaths on Ukrainian roads, which right now is really dramatic. It's more than 4,000 lives each year dying on Ukrainian highways. Next year will be crucial for us. We have a lot to do. It's decentralization, improvement of road safety, implementation of FIDIC principles, conduction of functional audit, potential restructurization, and moreover it, we have to split 170,000 kilometers of Ukrainian road network into 2 parts, state-owned and municipally owned. And this is for 2017. I'm very grateful to World Bank for their strategic plan of roads development 2017-2018. It was already presented to the ministry. Numbers are correct and vision is right. And I'm very thankful to World Bank for the great initiatives they completed. And Mr. Kravtsov will inform you in details about this in a few minutes. Sorry. Aviation. The Agency of Infrastructural Projects was established, and 300 million of hryvnias is already allocated till the end of the year. Those funds will be spent on renovation of the runways in the regional airports and realization of the strategy of development regional airports till 2013. We would start with Odessa runway project together with UNOPS and with the support of US Treasury team. A lot of steps have been done for liberalization of the market and improvements of safety, implementation of EU rules and standard in aviation sector. The signing agreement with EU and European Aviation Safety Agency for certification and obtaining technical assistance planned in the beginning of 2017 are really crucial for us. And we do believe with the open skies between Ukraine and European Union, we would be able to make a huge step forward in having low cost in Ukraine and more liberalized market concerning traffic of aviation passengers. Now I will give the floor to my first deputy, Mr. Kravtsov, to present about preliminary results that might cause interest. Thank you.